I want to summarize the points of having a productive conversation. So before you have the productive conflict conversation, you need to identify what is the desired outcome that you want. And if the desired outcome is to make another person feel a certain way, you're not ready to have the conversation. If the desired outcome is tangible physical results, so a change of course, a different outcome, a direction change, then you're about ready.
Can I add to that? Checking your emotions first is probably the most important thing.
100%.
That you can't have clarity until you check your emotions.
Yeah.
And then you move on from there.
Yep. And so like this incident happened on a Thursday night, and I tried calling the school that day. I usually like to sleep on things like that, but in a case, sometimes you don't have the time to sleep on it. Sometimes you got to have conversations right away.
You fucking act, man.
So I still was afforded the opportunity to sleep on it because they didn't call me back till the next day. But another thing is when you're picking your desired outcomes of what you want, look to your core values. And if you don't have core values, get some core values, because those core values will guide the desired outcome.
Yeah.
And so like my own personal core values are like honesty, excellence, and integrity, and some other things. Well, this action was direct violations of my core values. It was dishonest, it was unethical, and it had nothing to do with excellence, right?
Yeah. And
so I used those core values to shape the desired outcome from that conversation. And then after that, I held true to that conversation. Another thing that I established is I always like using comparisons to drive points home. So I compared to the other joke that involves race but is not racist.
Yeah.
Right? And I even pointed out to the school,
it's good to have something to back you up.
Yeah.
That's not just your own mouth.
I pointed out to the school that establishing somebody's race for parameters is not racist, because if it was, the school is racist every day for asking kids to label their race on tests or enrollment, right? And so using those parameters, I was able to shape the constructive outcome of the conversation. I was able to keep my emotion out of it, and we were able to get the desired result. You don't always get the desired result. This isn't like the proven way to win the conversation.
You can't win every time.
Keep in mind, winning,
it's impossible.
Winning is different. Winning is not I'm right and you're wrong. Winning is not my kid's not in school suspension.
No, winning is the results that you wanted.
Yes, winning is the results that were created from looking to the core values and saying what is right and what is wrong. And winning has nothing to do with feelings, right? Now, it can feel good to
It always feels good to win.
Well, yeah. It can feel good to have the desired outcome come true, but I wouldn't say I won in that. Like,
no, you wouldn't use that as an example.
Yeah. This isn't a winner and a loser. This is like we all won because Grant now has better clarity on what is not racism, right?
Yeah.
This principal has better clarity on how I'm going to handle and address things when it comes to my kid and all this stuff. Yeah. So like I would venture to say we all won.
Yeah.
But throughout your course of business, you will absolutely have to have constructive conversations that are full of conflict. And if you're not having conflict through your growth, you're not trying to grow fast enough. You're not trying to grow hard enough.
You're letting that stuff come to you.
Yeah. The easiest way to not have conflict in the business is to not care about anything. And if you don't care about anything and you don't have dreams and goals and visions and standards,
you're not growing.
You're not going to have very much conflict. You're not going to have very much success. So if you set your standards in a way that align with your dreams and goals and your visions, you will have conflict. There will be people that are acting outside of those standards. There will be actions that occur that deviate from those standards, and it takes conflict, conversations around conflict to get those back on course.